Another year, another E3, and with another E3 brings yet another E3 highlights video. What's up guys, IPlayVidya here to tell you about all the games, trailers, announcements, and shit that captured my eye this E3. Now, quick disclaimer, as per the usual, this video is me detailing the games that personally caught my interest, so not all the big, huge announcements that were made this year will be, talked about in this video because, well, to be quite honest, the majority of them I couldn't give a fuck less about. That's just me. But enough about that. Let's get that excited counter up on the screen because I know we're gonna need it, and let's jump right into it, shall we? Alright, so the first game that caught my attention this year at E3 actually came slightly before E3. I believe the trailer came out like 1 or 2 days before the press conferences actually started this year, and that was the trailer for the final installment in Telltale's The Walking Dead franchise, the aptly titled The Walking Dead: The Final Season. Now in this trailer we see Clementine and AJ together, so that shows that after the events of New Frontier, Clementine did in fact find AJ and managed to save him from wherever he was. Maybe that's talked about in this game, it probably will be. But we do notice that both Clem and AJ are older in appearance, so it's fair to get set. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't talk. It's fair to assume, in my opinion, that this game takes place a few years after the events of A New Frontier. Now, all we really know is that this is the end of Clementine's story. Beyond that, we really don't know much about the plot. From what we've read from Telltale's social media posts, Clementine finds a school of children, I believe, is what the overall plot is. And beyond that, we don't know, but apparently this is going to somehow shape the end of her story. Either way, I'm excited for whatever comes next. I'm a huge fan of Telltale, especially the Walking Dead series. I know not every game has been a fan favorite, but every game in the series has been a favorite of mine. So I definitely look forward to seeing how Telltale concludes Clementine's story. I'm excited. There's no other word well, I mean, there's plenty of other words I could use to express what I'm feeling, but excited sums it up the best. Alright, so the next game that caught my eye this year was Jump Force, or as some people are dubbing it, Fanfiction the Game. It's a massive crossover between the anime properties licensed under Shonen Jump, celebrating Shonen's 50th anniversary. So in this game, we see Goku, we see Frieza, we see Naruto, and we see Luffy from their respective series, and then at the end of the trailer we see the characters from Death Note. I don't know their names, I don't watch the show. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Not really. But so far we really don't know much about the game other than all these universes are somehow colliding in one way or another. In a post-conference interview, the creator of the game said the trailer had barely scratched the surface of the roster of characters that are available within the game, so there's a lot to look forward to, considering the large amount of characters within, the entirety of Shonen Jump's library. So, while I'm not as big of an anime fan as most people, I love the big ones because those are the ones I've seen. I loved Dragon Ball growing up as a kid. Naruto was alright. Hopefully there's some Yu Yu Hakusho that's been hinted at by some people. Maybe some My Hero Academia. That'd be dope. But beyond that, whatever comes next for it, whatever's announced for it, I'm listening. I'm ready to hear whatever they have planned next for it. Like whatever bit of news I can get, I'm ready for it. Because it looks like a great game, honestly. It looks like a fun game. Maybe not great, not mind-blowing, but it looks fun. For those of us who are fans of these, anime worlds, it looks like a fun game just to have all these worlds coming together in a way they never have before. Alright, so the third game that caught my eye this year came from the creators of Life is Strange. They announced a new, quick little one-off game titled The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. It's a short little game, it's free, it comes out June 26th, so depending on whenever I finish editing and uploading this video, maybe it's already out now, maybe it will come out shortly. I don't know when this video is gonna fucking go up, but either way, It's set in the same world, in the same universe as Life is Strange, so it takes place in the same world that Max and her story took place in. And what I've read from the official Life is Strange blog on Tumblr is that this short little game is to bridge the gap between Life is Strange, the first Life is Strange game, and the new sequel that they announced last year. And they said that this game will give little hints and teasers as to the setting, characters, and plot of the next game, but only if you are really looking into the story, not just at the surface level. I'm a huge fan of Life is Strange. I loved the first game. The second game was decent. It's not for everyone, but you know, the fans of the first game definitely enjoyed the prequel. Maybe not definitely, but you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. But enough about that. Either way, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. It looks like a neat little game. I've seen a lot of people shitting on it. You know, after the announcement, a lot of people who expected, you know, something more adult from this to follow the Life is Strange game. They expected something with adults or with more adult themes, but I don't think this is going to be some piece of shit throwaway game. I think it has potential to be a very decent little filler game, because that's, I mean, let's be honest, that's really what it is. But either way, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna play it. It's free, for fuck's sake. Alright, so the fourth game on this list is a game we really don't know much about, except that it's from CD Projekt Red, the creators of the critically acclaimed The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That game, everyone loved that game. I personally have not played it yet. Please keep your hate comments away. I will play it eventually. I own it. I just haven't found the time. There are other games I want to play. Get off my ass. But it's undeniable that the game was great. It's undeniable that they did an amazing job with it, because I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've seriously heard no bad things about that game. Now, I'm sure that I've said that, people are going to send me plenty of fucking hate for that game, be like, oh no, there's plenty of things wrong with it, but up until this point, there's nothing that I've heard negative about it. So, I haven't even mentioned the game yet, have I? CD Projekt Red's next game is titled Cyberpunk 2077. It takes place in a sci-fi futuristic setting, and that's really all we know, but that's really all I need to know. I love futuristic shit. I love sci-fi shit. And, yo, if CD Projekt Red can make as amazing of a game with Witcher 3 as they can with this one, chances are I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. We really don't know much about the story. We don't really know any of the characters. From what I gathered from the trailer, it looks like, you know, Detroit Become Human had a love child with Grand Theft Auto and they fed it ecstasy. I mean, that's my main takeaway from the trailer, but I don't know what to expect except good things, because the studio fucking knocked out of the park with its last game, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited nonetheless. Alright, so the next game on this list that caught my interest was the game that not only me but a lot of people have been really waiting for more information about, and that is Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2, the follow-up to the hit 2013 game. It came out in 2013, right? I think so. Fuck it, I don't do my research. But yeah, they've been releasing little mini trailers here and there. There was a trailer that featured what many believe to be Ellie's mother, but now this trailer, and then the very first trailer we ever received featured Ellie, and the new trailer we received featured Ellie, and we also got some gameplay with the new trailer. Really all I've been hearing from people's response is that OMG, Ellie is still gay. That's really all I've heard. Is that really all you guys can take away from this? But nonetheless, the gameplay itself was brutal as hell, very violent. Very violent. I look forward to it, I really do. I'm interested to see how Ellie got to this point, because, yo, that's what we expected. We expected some fucking rough shit to head her way, because, because the sequel wouldn't have been fun if it would have just been a happily ever after the first game, obviously. But also, in these last two little trailers, we haven't seen anything of Joel. In fact, I don't believe he was seen on screen in the very first trailer they ever showed us either, so I'm guessing he dies. I mean, that's what most people have assumed by this point. but I'm curious as to see how and how that influences Ellie and what she does throughout this game. But either way, I greatly enjoyed the first game. It was great. So many people enjoyed the first game. It was fantastic. People loved it. People can't shut up about it. Yeah, it was a great game. It's not the only game PlayStation has under its belt. It's got other fucking greats. Like, people, anytime someone mentions great exclusive, they always mention The Last of Us. But there's others. There's others. Come on, man. There's others. But don't get me wrong. The Last of Us was an amazing game. And The Last of Us 2 is shaping up to be just as good, if not better. Who knows? I can't wait to find out. I'm excited for it. So let's see what it brings. Alright, so a game that Sony announced this year at their conference that I truly wasn't expecting, but I'm nonetheless hyped for, is Ghosts of Tsushima. Sorry, I speak English. I don't know proper Japanese pronunciation. Please forgive me. But nonetheless, simply from what we've seen in the trailer alone, is amazing graphics, amazing combat, and samurais. Awesome samurai action. The trailer alone looked beautiful, but of course, trailers are nothing compared to the final product. You can't expect the final product to be exactly what you saw in a trailer, obviously. But nonetheless, it looks like such a fun fucking game. Like, the combat looks great, the fucking scenery and everything is just beautiful, and you know, it looks like there's like a legitimate story behind it that I'm already fucking invested in, even though I've played nothing of the game, obviously. It's really a surprise thing that caught my attention. I wasn't expecting that. Like, these previous titles I've kind of heard about, you know, I've been kind of keeping an eye on, you know, but this one came out of nowhere for me, and Jesus fucking Christ, it looks amazing. I can't wait for it. Honestly, so hyped for it. Can't wait. Alright, and yet another title that, once again, I was not expecting to show any interest towards was a small indie game that I believe was shown during PlayStation's press conference, and that is Control. A game about a psychic detective hunting down supernatural creatures, I believe, is what the description was of it. I didn't quite comprehend what the actual, you know, synopsis fucking told me, because I watched the trailer online, of course, and I mean, in the description on the YouTube video, there's a synopsis of the game, but I still can't quite wrap my head around it. But the trailer looks fucking crazy. It looks like a total mindfuck. People are saying this is PlayStation's Quantum Break, that this is just the Sony version of that. I don't know. I haven't seen or played anything with Quantum Break. I haven't seen any playthroughs. I haven't played it myself, obviously. Don't own an Xbox. But nonetheless, even if it is, like, I'm excited to play this game. It looks fucking dope. It looks fucking crazy. It looks awesome. I don't know how many more adjectives you want me to throw at this game, but dude, it looks trippy as hell, and I'm excited to give it a whirl, honestly. Alright, so the next game that actually caught my interest last year at E3, definitely kept my interest this year, when Sony announced even more details for their upcoming Spider-Man game. I mean, everyone I know is excited about this. Spider-Man fans and non-Spider-Man fans alike. We're all excited to see what Sony can bring to the table with the new Spider-Man game. It looks fucking fantastic. In this video, we saw the reveal of Scorpion, Electro, Vulture, Mr. Negative, Rhino. I think there was one more. Sorry, fucked. Yeah, I don't remember the trailer vividly. I didn't watch it right before I shot this video. I know there were 6 fucking villains announced though, so I feel stupid for not remembering the 6th one. Because there were 6 of them, because people were like, oh, is this a new Sinister Six? And it just might be. Either way, I'm excited. Of course, I mean, I said this last year, but I'll say it again. I'm fucking excited for this game. It looks amazing. I can't think of any other word than excited. Maybe it's just because I'm stupid, but whatever. It looks fan-fucking-tastic. Can't wait to play it. I love Spider-Man, he's my favorite Marvel hero. I love all the Spider-Man villains, even the semi-lame ones. They're great, I love them. Can't get enough of them. So I'll take whatever Sony gives me, hopefully it's something good. Alright, and the final game this year that caught my attention at E3 is going to be the game that finally sells me on the Nintendo Switch. What might that game be, you ask? Well, let me give you a little backstory. Back in, I think it was 2013, I believe, when this game came out, I had a 3DS with one game on it, and that one game was Pokemon Y. Now, you can only do so much in Pokemon after you've caught them all, which I did. Thank you. I know that's not much of an achievement nowadays, but hey, I felt pretty good about it, 5 years ago. But, I decided I wanted something more on my 3DS. I wanted more. I wanted to see what Nintendo truly had to offer. So I go into the Nintendo eShop, and I go to their whole list of free demos, and I download every free demo I can. This one, one after another. And of course I have all these free demos on my DS. I play through all of them. And each one after the next is just disappointment. This sucks, fuck this, I don't like any of them. Except one game. I played the demo, and with this demo, I not only fell in love with this game, but this franchise as a whole. What was that game, you might be asking? Motherfucking Fire Emblem Awakening, alright? So obviously you can guess from that alone, if you paid attention to E3, the game that's finally got me sold on the Nintendo Switch is the new Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, I don't know what to expect from this game. I expect it to be a Fire Emblem game. The fucking very little gameplay I've seen, it looks fantastic. I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. I'm fucking shaking with anticipation. I love Fire Emblem games. I loved Awakening. Awakening was my first game, so before anyone fucking jumps at my throat, oh wow, you haven't played like the first, 12? How can you call yourself a true Fire Emblem fan? I'm not calling myself a true Fire Emblem fan. However, I am a fan. Whether you consider me a true Fire Emblem fan or not, I don't care. I'm a fan nonetheless. So, they announced a new game, and since Nintendo, of course, has been phasing out the 3DS, like it's no longer important, no longer relevant, so clearly their new Fire Emblem game won't be on the 3DS, because they don't want people to buy more 3DSs, they want people to go buy the Switch. They want to sell the Switch as best they can, so now they know all the Fire Emblem fans are going to run and buy the Switch if they haven't already. And that holds true for me. I want to play more Fire Emblem. I want to see what the next story holds. I'm excited. Ever since Awakening, I've played each game afterwards, and I want more and more. Because while, they weren't the greatest, Fates wasn't amazing, Echoes was decent, but they weren't fucking mind-blowing amazing, but they were still fun. I still enjoyed them. I still loved playing them regardless. So, this next game, I'm beyond excited for. One thing I just want to put out there is, I know a few of my friends have said this, and I share their concerns, is I hope, Fire Emblem Three Houses doesn't end up being 3 separate games, similar to how Fire Emblem Fates was, where you had Conquest and Birthright being, oh, you're playing for this side now, you're playing for this side now. Why not have all 3 sides within the same game, something like that shit? I don't know. But it feels kind of stupid. I don't know, maybe not stupid, I don't know. I would rather have one game where you can do all 3 things rather than buy 3 separate games just for the same story seen from different perspectives. Seems just like too much of a cash grab. Nintendo knows their fans. I'm gonna fucking shell out the money either way. Love me some Fire Emblem. Can't wait to play what comes next. Fortunately, that means I have to fucking save up and buy a Switch, but I'll do it. Nintendo. You fucking got me. I said last year that I thought that fucking new Metroid game would be the one to get me, but it didn't. It was the new Fire Emblem game, so good on you, Nintendo. Good on you. But that's it. That's the end of all the games that caught my attention this year. Now, I know there were some big announcements that came from several developers that I did not mention at all. I know Bethesda had a pretty huge announcement. PlayStation had a fairly large announcement that I skipped over. Nintendo had a pretty big announcement that I skipped over. That's because I don't care about those games. I really don't. Couldn't care less. So, regardless, I'm happy for the people who are happy about those announcements, but they don't do anything for me. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next year with yet another E3 highlights video. Bye-bye.